Olutalo lwabadde mu Parliament yesterday wakati wa Prime Minister that's Robina Nabanja wamu ne Leader of Opposition Honorable Joel Senyonyi. Ndowooza mwalulabye bulungi beerangidde ebisongovu era ne baba nga tebavuddewo bulungi naye ng'ensonga eyabadde esinga baleetera obuzibu ye ya Kibalama John Bosco Kibalama yali muna NUP era nga yawambibwa paka na kaseera kano tewali amanyi mayitirege tebalina kye bamwogerako like totally nothing tebalina kye bakola ku nsonga za John Bosco Kibalama ekyawadde abantu concern enene ne bagamba nti omuntu waabwe bamutwala wa tebabanga bamukola bikyamu nga tulabye abantu abagenda nga bafiira mu makomera so bali worried ng'ekibiina nga tebalaba muntu waabwe ensonga eno nno munnange Prime Minister teyagizeemu bulungi yazzeemu n'okubalaata yazzeemu n'akamanyiro kangi era nga we mwabirabye cause clip nagibawadde eri awo wansi era gwatannagiraba osobola scrollinga wansi n'obanga ogiraba ku nsonga eno yennyini Vice President that's Jessica Alupo avuddeyo kubanga ajogerako aze okubanga agikatiriza bulungi n'okuginnyonnyola mwenna mubeerenga mugitegeera wano wenyini sigenda mwogerera kubanga mulina kkiriza mukuwe naawe obeerenga owulira Vice President chayogera ku nsonga ya John Bosco Kibalama.
Honorable Margaret Etilu, a woman member of Parliament for Amuria, is my daughter. She is a sister to some of you. She is a muzukulu to some of you, but she's my daughter. We all know that she is being detained. But the clarification I would like to give, in light of the Prime Minister has said, what the Prime Minister has said is that she has met her family, some of her family members were permitted to have an interaction with her. She is safe, she is healthy, and she will be joining us soon. We have been speaking to the law enforcement officers in police, on phone. Some of them we have met physically. We did not want to involve cameras. The concern that the leader of opposition has on Honorable Margaret Etilu is a concern that we all of us have about her. But from the messages that we have received from law enforcement officers, the assurance is that she will be joining us anytime this week. That's what the last message I got yesterday from the concern. Chibalama. In the last Parliament, we used to discuss. You members of Parliament who were here in the last Parliament, we used to share. And every time that matter would come up, we would agree that it is not a flimsy matter. It is a matter that should be presented to this House in black and white. So I request that the leader of opposition agrees again that the Minister for Security, on those names which he has mentioned, returns here next week with a statement. Because it's a matter that affects all of us. We all have relatives and friends who are opposition. You also have relatives and friends who are NRM. So this issue we are discussing does not affect only you as members of opposition. It affects all of us as members of Parliament, as leaders, as Ugandans. I thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me the opportunity to make the supplementary.
Thank you very much. Lope, now you give us your ministers.
Honorable Speaker, allow me to first appreciate the Vice President for her response, which has been properly clothed and easy to understand. Because when you compare it to the Prime Minister was simply mocking this House.
It's just enough to say wuyo, 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 and they will pounce on you. Even the Speaker is not safe. Because security has also the limit. They can stone you from the car. And the Speaker also walks. So everyone is threatened. Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, you may be safe for now. What about tomorrow? What about your relatives? What about your voters? And so this matter is quite big. So on behalf of government, I want to commit that we shall using the police and all security agencies and intelligence try to make sure that we stamp out this act of mob justice. And the culprits should be brought to book. And this must stop. So, Honorable Speaker, once again, I want to direct that the Ministry of Internal Affairs comes with a report so that we have this debated at length.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I rise on the matter of national importance under Rule 56(1) of our Rules of Procedure. Right Honorable Speaker and honorable members, yesterday we laid to rest a young man, 27 years old, in Sirongo. His name is Sidney Gongodio Giabi, a rugby player with the Uganda Rugby Cranes and the Black Pirates Rugby Club. Right Honorable Speaker, this one is not an isolated incident. He was killed on Friday on some suspicion which was not proved. He was beaten, killed by the people that he plays to represent out of this country. Year in, year out, on average we lose 1,000 people, according to the police crime report. In 2023 we lost 1,039 people. 2024 we lost 1,019 people. And just last year we lost 950 people. That's according to the annual report of the police crime report. It is my prayer, Right Honorable Speaker, because what happened to Sydney can happen to any of us here. It may not happen to the Speaker, he has security, but any of us walking around the street, anyone shouting thief without any proof, and you're lynched by those who represent here. My prayer, Right Honorable Speaker, because I want to move also under Rule 56(6), that we give the members of Parliament here, because it says we can talk about 15 minutes. We condemn mob justice in very strong terms. My second prayer is that the Minister of Internal Affairs gives us a report within 7 days of what is happening in terms of investigations. My third prayer, Right Honorable Speaker and members, is that we know, because the challenge usually is the response time, can we have a strategy by the government on response times? You're called, the police is called, and they come 3 hours later, 4 hours later. And then the person whom is supposed to be presumed innocent under the law, under the Constitution, Article 2028, 3A, that you are innocently proven guilty, or unless you confess under a competent court. Now, if you look at the videos, Sydney was bundled like a thief onto that police wagon. We want a strategy from the police, from the government, what they're going to do about future incidents. Because I think we buried him yesterday on a Heroes Day because we knew he should mark the end of mob justice. My final request, Right Honorable Speaker and members, because the challenge is that 25%, according to the records, 25% of the murders reported are the ones that are pushed forward to court and prosecuted. Over 4,000 cases and only 1,000 is processed to its logical conclusion. I'm requesting, because we're trying to make mob justice as discouraging as possible. Some people also know, many of our Ugandans don't know that mob justice is actually illegal. But because I've experienced that pain, and as Council Mpanga once advocated for a nervous system where we feel each other's pain, many of us have lost that feeling. You feel that every thief is guilty, or every suspect is already guilty. Many are not. Many are just victims of circumstances. So I'm requesting that in a way you make it prohibitive. Can we have a public trial? As it happened with the case of Uganda versus Christopher Okello Nyuma. Because through that process, we got to know so many things. Even those who are not lawyers got to understand what actually happens in a courtroom. So I request on behalf of the rugby community, I must declare that I have an interest because I serve as the Vice President of Uganda Rugby Union, and that is one of our members. So I have to declare that interest. But I request that this House openly condemns this particular trend of events. I beg to submit right now.
Thank you. Honorable members, it's very painful. A young man, very promising, didn't know anything about theft, and very, very tragic to lose a life in such circumstances. It reminded us, somebody wrote about similar mob justice in Iganga, and the area MP is here, several years ago, where a young man was sent by the parent to go and buy. The father sent him to the nearby shop, not far away from Honorable Kaluya's home, to go and buy something in the evening. And the young man decided to look for his mother, who had left a long time, to escape from home. They could not find him. The parents went on those who were suspected in Iganga here. 3 people were suspected to be witch doctors, that they could have killed the boy. Those 3 people were killed. Even police, they overpowered police, they killed the 3 people. After a few days, they had the news that the young man was with the mother. How do you administer justice to those who killed? And just until recently, I think some of them, most of the people were arrested. Some were given about 10 years or 15 years. But is that adequate? How do you take the law into your hands? And these days, as I said, it is just enough to say wuyo, 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 and they will pounce on you. Even the speaker is not safe. Because security has also the limit. They can stone you from the car. And the speaker also walks. So everyone is threatened. Prime Minister, what comment do you have to say about this undertaking by the Ministry of Internal Affairs? It's a bit of reassurance. It's very painful. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker and members. I want first of all to thank our son, Oranya, for bringing this matter here. Right Honorable Speaker, it is painful that we have lost such a young man at such a tender age. Just like that. I want to use this microphone on behalf of government to condemn the acts of mob justice. Right Honorable Speaker, at one time I witnessed when I was traveling from Kakumiro to Mubende. Somewhere they killed a young man who was a coffee middleman. He had his small weighing scale in Kavera, and then they said that was a thief, because thieves had stolen that area a day before. Just like that, we lost a young man. So, members, we need to condemn this act with the strongest terms possible. And I want to direct the ministry or the Minister of Internal Affairs to come up with a report so that we can debate this matter, because it is big. All of us are not safe. Our relatives are not safe.